What's up, man?
Hey, Matt, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. They didn't send me a link. They sent me all these calendar invites and everything, and I'm like clicking through, and I'm like, I don't have a link for this interview.
Yeah, I sent it, dude. I sent it like Saturday morning, not thinking it was a holiday weekend and like offices are closed. And so I'm sitting here going, I probably dicked this up by not sending it earlier. So,
All good, man. We got it.
well, I appreciate you taking a few minutes, man. I know you guys are getting ready for this next leg of the Shinedown tour. And I was thinking back to the last time you were in this studio was when you were going to open the Shinedown tour in Saginaw. And then a few weeks later, you were playing the Soaring Eagle in Mount Pleasant. And now you're going to play with Shinedown at the Soaring Eagle in Mount Pleasant to open up this leg of the tour. So it's all sort of working back together.
Yeah, man. It's kind of repeating itself. It's weird because when we got the offer to do the Shinedown tour again, I was like, yeah, we'll run this back. Absolutely, man. It's always fun touring with those guys, and hopefully the sun. I'm gonna say this. Hopefully the sun isn't too bright on the stage up there at the Soaring Eagle Casino, man, because that's the one thing I remember every time we play that place. We're playing right around 7 p.m., man, in the middle of the summer, and we're getting baked up there, man. So yeah, I'm hoping maybe we got a cloudy day on our hands on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I mean, as you're prepping for this tour, and you know that there's going to be some sheds, you're going to play some outdoor venues and some arenas as well. Is the preparation different when you guys are gearing up to play a show, which could be the sun blasting down on you, 90 degrees, sweat, whatever? Do you guys prepare any differently, or is it all the same going? Whether it's arena or outdoor.
Dude, big difference in preparation. I put sunglasses on.
Yeah, pretty much
That's about it, man. Yeah, we don't prepare any differently. Honestly, just is it sunny on stage? All right, just got to put sunglasses on and make sure I stay hydrated. But we go hard up there. I'm sure you know that. Anyone that's listening has seen us knows how hard we go while we're on stage, and you just got to make sure you don't pass out. Like Welcome to Rockville, man. Like we played that a couple years ago in the direct sun at like 2-3 p.m. and it was like 90. I want to say it was like 98, 99 degrees outside. And I remember by the end of our set, like my feet started getting that pins and needles feeling. I was starting to think like, man, I might actually go down. Like this might be the first time in my career that I actually just pass out because of the heat. But we made it through the last like minute and a half and made it out. So, but that was the worst. I've never had an experience like that before.
Well, I know looking at extended forecasts like we do, we're looking at like 80 degrees on Saturday. Sun should be shining. It should be perfect.
Hell yeah. Well, I love that, man.
No doubt, yeah.
If a cloud could go over during our set, though, I wouldn't be mad.
yeah, with the sun coming right in the direction that it's coming from. Totally agree. I totally understand.
It's right there in Mount Pleasant at the Soaring Eagle. I know I've played it so many times. I know like that time of the day, the sun is right up over the hill.
Yep.
And it's right down on the stage.
Well, I'll talk to the powers that be and see if we can't get something figured out for you guys.
Yeah, send them a text or something, man. See,
I will. Yeah, I know people. I know a lot of people out there. So I'll see if they could do like a Mr. Burns style, like he blocks out the sun, like he wants to block out the sun. Like maybe we can just do that for you guys.
Bill Gates, right? Isn't Bill Gates like the real life?
yeah, exactly. There's got to be some rich person out in Mount Pleasant that could do something.
Right. Well, there's a casino there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, right. We'll talk more about the show coming up, but I want to say congratulations because you guys recently secured your first ever #1 song. Can you explain? I mean, I know how important it is, but to everyone else that doesn't understand the importance of a #1 song for any artist, any band, why is it important not just to get a #1, but also for a band to get their first #1?
Well, first off,
oh, do you have it? Oh, let's see it.
It's right here. I haven't hung it up yet.
Yeah,
it's right
Sweet.
Here. It's going to go right up next to, I don't know, you probably can't see it, but I got a gold record back there. So it is insanely important, man. I mean, especially at this area in our career, and we've been around for a little while, and for us to continue to gain steam and grow, just tells us that we're doing everything right. I mean, but it's also telling me that everyone else is really loving the music, and not only the fans, but obviously folks like yourself have to love the music. You have to want to play it, and the people who are listening are going to want to have to hear it. So. We're not stepping backwards, we're stepping forwards. And I think that when you get a #1 single, it also tells a lot of people like, hey, this band is for real. This band means business. They're out here doing their thing, and they're continuing to be successful and grow.
And it has to be a little bit sweeter for you because you've had changes over the years in terms of a personnel in the band. You've been there. You're the constant. So for you, after 13, 14 years of being in from ashes to new, to reach that sort of pinnacle and get that first #1's got to be a little bit sweeter for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's at one point, man, I just stopped thinking it was going to happen. I was just like, been doing this for a long time, but we see a lot of the alt bands like starting to kind of really come up and take over. And I think for the longest time there was like this stigma behind the genre that we are in, like the subgenre of the genre that we are in. And it was always weird to me that there was some sort of stigma attached to it, because in the early 2000s, like that's basically all you had. Like, our style of music ruled with an iron fist. Like now we're like alt metalcore, new metal, like a big mixture of things. But new metal, I mean, when you look at the festivals that we play, with the exception of several bands, the new metal bands are still the ones headlining it. So it's like, it's not like it ever went away, and we all know how big it was in early 2000s. So I was always kind of taken aback by the fact that I was told, hey, it's kind of the style, it's the screaming and the rapping, like it's not going to go well with the active rock. And I was always like, man, wasn't it like, Slipknot and Linkin Park and Korn and like all those bands, weren't those the ones that ruled in the early 2000s when the genre was at its absolute peak? And aren't they the ones that are still headlining the festival? So I was always confused by that. But then when I saw bands like Falling in Reverse and, Bring Me the Horizon and Bad Omens and those types of bands really start to blow up and do big things and get their number ones and really start to control the top 20. And when I saw that happen, I was like, all right, I think we're next in line here. And the way that a lot of people view From Ashes to New is we're a new band. And I think that's just this side of the industry as well. I saw an interview, someone was talking about Bring Me the Horizon, and they were talking to Finn McKenty. I don't know if you know who that is, but this is back when he did the punk rock MBA, and they were like, "Yeah, bring me or they were talking about there's no new bands that are headlining arenas these days," and Finn was like, he said that, and I guess the fan was like, "Oh, bring me the horizon, bring me the horizon." He's like, "Well, no, they've been a band for 20 years."
Yeah, right.
Like, they're not a new band. So I guess what I'm saying is you can be a band for 10, 15, 20 years in this side of the industry, and people still think you're new, and I think that's a really good thing. It sucks getting there, because you're like, man, it takes a lot to stay with it, lots of ups and downs, but once you get there, you realize that it's a good thing, because longevity and staying power is so important in a career, and lots of hip hop and pop artists kind of just rise really quick and burn out really fast. So I'm really grateful that we got the number one. I'm really grateful that I'm thinking that we're probably going to get a couple more, and I'm grateful, honestly, that I've been able to do this for as long as I have and be considered a new band still.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the band's blowing up, and it's interesting to see, and I think you posted this on social media. It's funny to see that From Ashes to New is being described as a band about to blow up, even though, again, we're talking 13 years later. But once you get that number one song, now all of a sudden you're about to blow up, even though, I mean, you've been here for a minute.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I've been waiting for the day. So if this is the day and it's upon us, I'll take it.
Yeah, no doubt. And 2026 has been a big year for you guys. Not only do you get the first number one, but you dropped Reflections, and technically, and you've talked a lot about it, that there was an entire album before Reflections that you guys had demoed, recorded, and then decided to scrap, which then led to what Reflections is now. That's pretty insane for a band to demo an entire album's worth of work and then say, you know what, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I do want to say that because we talk about it often, and it wasn't that the music was bad. It just wasn't an evolution. It was just kind of more of the same, which I think would have been fine. I think like Blackout was a really great record for us. So I think it would have been fine. But for us as a band, we want to continue to evolve. We want each new piece of music and each new album to sound like we're evolving, sound like, oh wow, okay, From Ashes to New, still From Ashes to New, but they put a spin on it and they're doing this. Not only that, we want to sound more mature. And that's what Reflections is. I think that if we would have put out what we were making in between Blackout and Reflections, it would have just been Blackout Part 2, which I think some fans might go, oh man, why didn't you put out Blackout Part 2? Which I get, but it's also for us as well. So that's why we did that.
Do you have to email management, email the label, and say, hey, I know we've been working on these things for a while, but we're gonna go and start over? Do you have to give them a heads up, like, hey,
it was a mess.
Take a little bit longer?
It was a mess, man, because the budgets go up, everything gets a little bit more expensive, everything gets, so yeah, it was definitely a frustrating time. And then to also say, hey, okay, we're going to start over, that puts a lot more pressure on you to go, okay, well, we know we're starting over. Now what are we doing next? So, but I think we did it. I mean, I feel like we did it. Die For You's crushing right now. That's on its way to being our biggest song we've ever made. Obviously Drag Me went number one. We have a song called Forever that's in our top 5 on our Spotify. That's also probably a sleeper at this point in time, but I'm sure it's going to have its time in the light. And we're already creating new music right now. So.
And you talked about, sort of hitting the reset button to write reflections, and you talked about sort of making uncomfortable choices, but that sort of goes along with what you said. It could have been Blackout Part 2, and we could have done the same thing we've done, but instead you guys decide to do things. Maybe those uncomfortable choices lead you to that maturity and to doing things differently than you would have done them before.
Yeah, I think that that's probably a quote somewhere out there on Instagram in my feed, right? I'm pretty sure that when I scroll today, what you just said is going to pop up in a little black box with white text. You know what I mean? But
yeah, right.
But yeah, man. I mean, I think that you got to do the uncomfortable sometimes to grow, right? And I think that that's like the way that I approach life. When I started this band, I had a full-time job. I was making pretty decent money for my age, and I think that most people would have stuck with it. With my kid being the age that he was at the time, and my wife, and the house and the dogs and doing the whole thing. I think that everyone probably would have stuck with the job and say, hey, I guess the band life is just not for me. But I took that risk. I took my 401k, which most people at my age didn't even have a 401k. But I took my 401k, which was not a lot of money. I emptied it out and I invested it into the first EP of this band and took that risk. And I think that that's just been the story of my life moving forward, is just what's the risk versus reward. I think I weigh it a little heavier now, but I still weigh it out every single time. Like, if the risk isn't going to if it's not going to be detrimental and either A, kill me in a literal sense, or destroy some part of my life, then if the reward seems like it's higher, then I'm probably going to go for it.
Have you been able to replenish that 401k since?
I've definitely replenished my bank accounts.
Okay.
But my CPA, she's like, hey, we need to get like a good retirement thing going for you, because I'm not bad with money, but I certainly spend on things that I like, and I certainly have a whole different size bank account than I did when I was younger. So. But now I'm getting to the point, I'll be honest with you, dude, I'm getting to the point where I have like everything that I want, except for like that next gigantic step. Like, my wife and I were talking about, like, the house that I'm in right now is crazy awesome house, but we like building and tearing things apart and doing all those things. So like, we want to build a new house, but like the next level up from where we are is like crazy, like, especially now in today's market. It's like,
right. Yeah.
It's like, I want to do that. We're going to need that next step up. We're going to need a couple more risks. We're going to need a couple more rewards to get to that point. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get there like real soon.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're talking about houses when, like, just a couple of days ago, a week or two ago, you were talking on social media about like private mortgage insurance and like telling your like people that followed you, like, hey, if you know anything about this, here's some money you could be saving. And now here we are also talking real estate.
I think some people will be like, why is a rock star telling me about my private mortgage insurance? But honestly, man, like I found out I'll just tell you a little bit about that. I found out by mistake, because I was looking at my house and I'm like, okay, if I sell it, what's it worth? If I do this, what's it worth? What's my equity? And I was like looking at all these different things. I was like Googling all these different things. And I was like, how much more do I need to pay to get to the PMI to roll off? And then it like came up. It was like, you can have your house reappraised in whatever current market. If you do that, it's a bank reappraisal, not a government reappraisal. And if you do that and it's above the 20% threshold, like, that'll fall off. And I was like, what? Why don't they tell everybody? Like, because, ever since like I bought my house in 2020, and ever since like 2021 and 2022, my house has basically doubled in value. And that's been that way for three plus years. So if I would have known that 3+ years ago, I would have been saving $300 a month that I didn't know that I could save. So it's like, I felt like, man, this is information people should know. So
yeah, right.
I was like, hopefully someone's got to know this. I didn't know it. I'm sure someone's going to be happy about this.
Yeah, right. And again, here we are talking about it. So if anybody missed the Facebook post, now they can see this on YouTube or wherever, and they can give you credit when they're saving like hundreds of dollars in cash every month.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, that guy's cool and all," but like, why are like I said, why are rock
Yeah,
stars telling me about my
yeah, right.
BMI? Man? Like,
I mean, rock stars have been saying weird stuff for years, so I think you're fine. This isn't the strangest thing we've taught.
no,
Anything
this
we've
is
talked about.
definitely not the strangest thing.
Certainly
This is me just
beneficial.
trying to help people save some money, man.
That's
Now
right.
I gotta come
That's
to the
right.
show and buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Just use the money for beer and stuff when you come to hang out on the show on Saturday.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Get yourself some merch. We are excited to have you guys back at the Soaring Eagle coming up on Saturday. You mentioned going back out with the Shinedown guys, and I know any band would kill to have a slot on a Shinedown tour. So for you guys to get it again, man, and there aren't, as you talked about, there aren't a lot of bands headlining arenas, headlining sheds like rock bands these days. There's a handful, but it's
It's
Shinedown's one
not a
of
lot.
them. And yeah, for you guys to get to go back out with those guys is huge.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, they're great friends of ours as well. So, Maddie, our drummer, and Zach are literally best friends under the sun. So, I know that they're excited to make this happen again. I'm sure there's going to be all types of what's the word that I want to use? I could say shenanigans, but I feel like that's overused. Tomfoolery.
Oh, I like tomfoolery. That's good.
Yeah. There's gonna be all sorts of shit going on out on this tour. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know it's awesome getting to open for Shinedown, going back out on the road with those guys. But I imagine with the new album out, you guys are probably itching. You're going to do some headline shows, off shows, right? But to do a full blown tour, I imagine that you guys are kind of itching to do that too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, I mean, that's not going to be obviously till next year. But I mean, I would have done it this year, but we had so many great support offers. It was just like, okay, we'll go out and support all year. I mean, you have to do that sometimes, though. I mean, it's like you can't headline all the time. I guess you get to a certain point, you can't really do anything other than headline. Like if you get to a Shinedown point, like who are you really opening for? Like there's really like they would have to open for like a big country artist, or they would have to open for like a big pop artist. Like, hey, Post Malone called Shinedown. I mean, maybe then I don't even know them, but I guess Post Malone does stadium, so probably. But yeah, I mean, like you get to that point, you're headlining all the time. I guess there's a beauty behind continuing to grow is that we get to play with all these awesome bands, and go out and learn from them and play in front of their fans. It's a really cool opportunity.
Yeah, we're excited to see. I mean, Shinedown's played the Soaring Eagle so many times over the years, and the show is sold out coming up on Saturday, which is absolutely incredible. I get to bring some people back to meet you guys.
Sold out? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's. I think they just had. Who do they just have there? They just had Jelly Roll was there on Friday. I think that was close to sold out, but this has been sold out for a few weeks now. So Shinedown always packs them in at the Soaring Eagle, man. So it's going to be, I think, the 12,000, 13,000 plus.
Let's go.
On the hill on a Saturday night in Michigan, man. And I'm excited for Jimmy to come back and play a sold out hometown show.
Yeah, man. And then I think we're off the next day before we go to Toronto. So we're going to stop in Dearborn and visit his folks over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll say this too. My birthday's on Sunday, so we're really going to party big on Saturday.
Dude, it's a weekend, man. Let's go.
Let's go. I know.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you taking a few minutes, man. I know you're busy getting ready for the tour, and you guys have always been so generous to us doing really anything that we've ever asked. So I appreciate it, man. You taking a couple of minutes, and we're excited to see you coming up on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, dude. We'll see you this weekend, man.
Cool. Thanks, Matt.
All right, brother.